Script or no script?
Really comes down to the individual. But me personally, it depends on the actual video that I'm doing. If it's something like a sales video where we need to hit every single word, and changing a word might actually change the outcome, like it could sound different, or the product might sound a little, not as good as it is, or something like that. I'm the kind of guy that if I've only given a few words, I'm going to talk a lot more than what I probably need to. So for me, for me, a script is handy, especially when I need to hit every point. For a lot of our videos, we do use a teleprompter, just even with dot points on there. It just makes it so much quicker to film, even though you may not need it. You don't have to keep looking back at notes. It's literally right there. Yeah. I don't normally have it scrolling all the time, though, because that would then hurry you along and put you under some pressure to deliver the content faster. But I'll normally have something, like if it's just the intro on there, I'll say that using the teleprompter to make sure I'm hitting those keywords, because YouTube is actually transcribing your videos as well as looking at what you're actually saying inside. So part of your ranking on YouTube comes down to what you're actually saying in the first part of your video as well. So it's going to look at the title, it's going to look at the first part of your video, and it's going to look at all those keywords and the tags. And if all three of them line up and it matches exactly what someone is searching for, then it's a quick way to get to the top of the search results. So it is important to really hit on at the start of your video, what are you covering in your video, but talk to those keyword terms as well. And that's also why it's so important to do that up front. So for the first part of every video, I'll say exactly what it is. So in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 tips to do whatever it is. But know that the whatever that is what people are searching for. And we know then that that's going to help us rank. So that's how I use a teleprompter, and that's why I do. We don't use it for all videos, but it can make it easier for you. But if you are experimenting with this, for a lot of people, the biggest mistake that they have is that they'll have it set to scroll, because that's what they see on the news and those kinds of things. And it can be hard. Then it'll look like you're reading because you're trying to keep up with the words and everything. Just leave it static and manually swipe it up or move the lines up.
But then you have to edit it, don't you? Then you have to edit that out.
You will. Yep. Yeah. So again, it'll come down to the type of videos that you're creating. So for us, we edit. I'll do a paragraph or a sentence or a chunk of content, whatever it might be for the video, and then there'll be a cut. And it can be, as a professional editor, I hate the jump cuts where it's just a cut.
But isn't that the trend right now, Justin?
It is the trend, and we do it. We've been doing it for years on YouTube. And I tell you what, the most important piece is the content and getting the content out there, and nobody cares about that stuff. I would never release a video for one of my paying clients that had a jump cut in it. We would zoom in or something, and we do zoom in on some of ours to break it up, but not all of them. Because at the moment, the most important thing is the content. People are there to listen from you, to hear what you have to say, to learn from you. They don't care about the quality of your videos. As long as it looks okay, and as long as the audio is good and it makes it easy for them to consume what you're saying or what you're showing them, that's the most important piece. Give them a good experience, but it doesn't need to be some massive Hollywood production.
Amazing. Because I do see that, the trend right now, especially among the younger kind of younger YouTubers, is very much like there's a jump cut every other word. It is so distracting, and I think, gosh, you guys, what are you on, acid or something? It really fries the nerves, the brain, like the cells. It's like, it's not very nice. So I don't know what.
And some people are cutting out even individual breaths. Like they won't even have a pause in between sentences. They'll cut that out to make it really, really tight. And I agree with you. You kind of get like anxious watching it, like it's going too fast because we're not used to talking or consuming content like that.
Exactly.
So it's interesting.
Good. So you'll use a script as appropriate, and it keeps you structured. But I actually think that what it does do, if is make you think very clearly about your subject. And one of the things that most of us don't have is a lot of time. So if you're looking for a topic and you really want some good information, you want some good inspiration possibly, then it's great to have done the thinking up front, so that you can go. Like, what I love about your videos is that I know I can go to your videos and you're not going to waffle. You're not going to go oh, I didn't mean that, and then go off on a tangent, talk about something else, and then come back to it. You're very succinct, you're very precise, your videos can be relatively short, and I know that I'm going to get the information that I need. And I prize that very much in a YouTube video. But a lot of people will be free flowing, and I don't know. I think it's all about preferences, isn't it?
But I think we did start with the free flowing stuff, and it was exactly the same. Like for me, I'm not a structure, systems, process person, or I wasn't. I am a lot more down that path now. And I used to waste a lot of time creating the videos because I wouldn't want to have a script. I would have a couple of dot points and that would be it. And I would miss things. And I work with my brother, Mike, and he would come back, we would look at the videos and say, yeah, cool. I know nothing about this topic because he's not a video guy. What about this? Wouldn't the logical question be something? And it was something that was missed. And every time that meant we had to reshoot the video because it was actually something important. But because I didn't do any planning up front and look at a simple structure, we were missing things, which would make the video incomplete for the viewers watching, which is a bad experience. If you're only giving them half the picture, obviously that wasn't the intention, but it's not helping anyone. So to me, it was frustrating for me because I'd missed things. I would create a video that then, we'd be down to the wire to get it out that week. So the whole pressure that builds around that, and on Sunday we've got to get our video out and all that kind of stuff. Now we literally look at every video first. We do the keyword research. We'll look at what are all the things that people would want to know on this topic. Like it's not rocket science here. What are the pros? What are the cons? What's all the information I need to give people before I step in front of the camera? You don't want to be there on filming day or when you're standing there in front thinking, how much was that thing? Or what about this other option over here? Like it's really, then you can just focus on delivering the content. The filming becomes easier. The editing then becomes easier because there's less content you're editing. So the whole process beyond the planning actually flows a lot better.
And you look like you're really enjoying yourself when you're actually delivering the videos as well. You look, there's a freedom to be, and just to kind of deliver it rather than to kind of think at the same time. So I think it depends on the subject matter as well. I think that you're delivering as to how much of that kind of upfront thinking that you do, and how many, you get very clear about, as you say, the points. But actually, sometimes it's not a bad idea to have to write it up, because I find that it's if you learn how to deliver it, like generate it in a way that you're not reading it, but you're actually, being prompted by it literally. It works.
Yes.
I think it can work really well.
And that's where, it's called a teleprompter. It's literally there. They weren't originally designed for you to read word for word. It was to prompt you on what's coming next. And that's how we use it. It's literally got dot points on there. Advantages. Now, these are the things that if you're talking about a topic, they're normally in your area of expertise or something that you're passionate about, that you know about and can probably talk about. So it would literally be there to prompt you of what's coming next. But it doesn't mean you need to have a teleprompter. You could have a sheet next to you or something, or a notepad, and obviously edit that bit out where you're looking at it. But it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It's just building out a structure. And it really is looking at what's the information I want to cover and what's the easiest way for people to consume this. Is it jumping all over the place, or just putting everything together? Group all the advantages together and all the disadvantages together. It seems so simple, but the way that most people do it is that they'll jump back and forth, which makes it so hard for the viewers to follow.
And how about in terms of editing? Again, there are two points of view on this. I've heard YouTubers with like several 100,000 subscribers, possibly even close to 1 million. I've heard YouTubers say, like, don't edit, it's not authentic. You're then not being authentic. You're editing things out, so you're only showing the best of something. And then I'm so sorry. I'm just going to pause that 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I'm glad it was you and not me. I did quickly check mine too. Yeah.
Anyway, so what's your view about that in terms of editing? How much editing do you do?
I would say it really comes down to personal preference. I know that's a broad generic answer, but creating videos is a form of art. There is no right or wrong. If you don't want to edit your videos and you want to have everything in there to be as authentic as you can be, then that's your personal preference. Now, the videos are going to be different. They're going to drive a different emotion if it's a much more longer waffly video. But that's going to come down to what you're talking about. If you're talking about feelings and emotions and your experience, or you're telling a story, then yes, you maybe don't want to edit that as much as if you're delivering a piece of content to show someone how to take them from A to B, or how to solve a problem, or how to do something themselves. So there is no right or wrong with it, and it will come down to which is going to be the best fit for you. If you are one of those, I guess, 1% of people who can press record and do something super concise and with no mistakes and no additional takes, press stop, and that's the video, that's amazing. But I think that's what a lot of people aspire to do, or to get to that point. And I can tell you that most people never get, I can't do it, and I have no interest. Like, I've wasted a heap of time trying to do that. And for me now, it's about getting the content out. How can I get it out in the most succinct way, the quickest amount of time without wasting my time? But then with editing, pull it together so that it is a good experience for the viewers. So it really will come down to personal preference and yourself, how good you are on camera and how comfortable you are, and whether you're happy to have mistakes or maybe longer periods of silence and those sorts of things in your video. So
whether you edit out the phone ringing in the background.
yeah, that's it. That's personal preference. You could leave it in there and it's raw and real, or take it out and no one will know.
Yeah, and I think you have to think about the experience of the person who's either listening or watching, because I actually don't watch YouTube videos. I tend to listen to them while I'm driving. So instead of listening to the radio, I listen to YouTube videos. So, so a sound like that might actually cause me to have an accident. Do you know what I mean? If I'm suddenly
let's hope not. Yeah. Just
what happens?
A little different. Yeah.